What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about primary flight controls versus secondary flight controls. Now, the main difference between these two, let's start off with the primary flight controls, is that the primary flight controls are essential to fly an airplane. They are essential to fly an airplane. Meanwhile, the secondary flight controls, they are supplemental devices that assist a flight. Supplemental devices that assist a flight. So, in simple words, the primary flight controls are a bit more important than the secondary flight controls. And it doesn't mean that you don't need the secondary flight controls. Nope. But I'll explain this as we keep moving on with this topic. Now, the primary flight controls, again, they are essential to fly the plane. Meaning, without the primary flight controls, you can't fly a plane. You cannot fly the aircraft because you need the primary flight controls, yes or yes. And on the other hand, with the secondary flight controls, they make flying easier, safer, and more efficient, but they are not essential. They make flying easier, safer, and more efficient, but they are not essential. However, if we don't count with the secondary flight controls, meaning if one of them fails, or two or three, which hopefully it never happens to any of us, well, it is going to be quite a challenge to fly that aircraft. Now, this point right here says if one of the primary flight controls fails, this is definitely a serious situation. This is definitely a serious situation. If we compare it with the secondary flight controls, if the secondary flight controls fail, the situation is manageable, but it requires pilot's attention. It is manageable, but requires pilot's attention, meaning that it's not something that we are aware of and we're just going to ignore it. No, we are going to actually have to do something about it because the trim is going to help us out during the flight. The spoilers are going to help us during landing, and the flaps, they are also going to help us a lot. So it doesn't mean that these aren't important. No, because we use them when during our flight training. But again, I want you guys to take this the main point right here with the primary flight controls. And the primary flight controls are essential to fly an airplane. And the secondary flight controls, they are supplemental devices that assist a flight. Supplemental devices that assist a flight.